You know, doing the show over the past few years, I really thought I'd seen it all and I'd heard it all, but I got to tell you that what you're going to see and talk about today is so bizarre, so strange, that even I was shocked. Take a look at these pictures and you'll see exactly what I mean. This is George. He's 20 years old. He's a university student studying music, and he wants to be a record producer. He wears diapers, drinks from a baby bottle, and sucks on a pacifier. This is Denise. She's 24 years old. She's studying to be a psychologist, and she's one of thousands of people who likes to dress up and act just like a baby. And then there's Michael. He's 39 years old, and he's a prominent artist who has sold his work to some of the richest families in North America. Michael describes himself as a full-blooded American male who loves to wear diapers because it's a sexual turn-on for him. Now, everybody's laughing. Okay, why are you laughing? You gotta tell me. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Why are you laughing?
I don't know. Really weird. Not something that everybody would do every day.
Well, there are thousands of people doing it, and it's a big secret. That's why we don't know that they're doing it. They're doing it in the privacy of their homes. Michael, this reaction, Michael, Denise, and George, of laughter, of ridicule, that this is the way you express yourselves. Have you gotten used to this kind of reaction? Because this is what happens every time people know about it, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's not. How do they react then?
The people that I've known have been relatively open-minded and accepting of what it's like for me. I don't take it to an extreme. It's just part of my life and personality that is very enjoyable to me, and my friends and boyfriend seem to accept it very well.
All right, let's talk about why you do this. Michael?
Can I answer your first
question?
question?
Sure, go ahead,
yeah. I don't get that kind of laughter and ridicule because I don't tell anyone. So
it does meet with mixed reactions.
I think you don't tell anyone because this is what you're afraid of.
Sure.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Sure.
Tell me about why you like to dress up like in diapers and suck on a pacifier and do things like that. Because, you know, it's hard for us to understand people who don't do that kind of thing.
Obviously.
Okay.
I've been doing that really since I've been into it really since I was about 4 or 5. I was fascinated, obsessed with that, and in fact I had an orgasm. My first orgasm was in a diaper. You know, and I thought I was about 11 or 10 or something, and I thought I had broken my because I didn't know about masturbation. Nobody told me. This is in the 50s, you know, and so I thought I'd hurt myself. You know, my first...
Look, I don't know a lot about this sort of thing, but I think maybe when boys first ejaculate, they don't really know what's happening to them. But
no, usually they know what to do when they do it, and they do it. I'll take your word for that,
Michael. But I want to talk... The fact is that when you're wearing diapers, this is a big sexual turn-on for you. It isn't for Denise. I don't think it is for George.
No, it's not for me either, no.
But it is for you.
Yeah. Right? Since very young, yeah.
And you still masturbate when you wear your diapers?
I do that. Well, I also do regular sex, too. I like the missionary position, too.
So you have a relationship with women?
That's great.
Like, in other words...
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, relations with women, yeah. And don't tell them about the diapers. If you do, they're gone.
All right.
You know.
George, what about you?
It's not a sexual thing at all for me. I separate the two things. Sex for me is going out with a girl, going out, you know, dancing, eating, whatever, coming back and basically getting it on. This is a different story altogether. This is like a...
When you say getting it on, you don't mean with a diaper.
No. I mean, no. No, I mean, you know...
No. Hold on. I didn't mean...
No, that's all right.
I think you understand what I mean.
No, I understand what you're saying. No, like regular sex, you know, like everybody that in this audience is thinking about. or what most people are thinking about. Other than that, I don't know exactly how to put it into words. It's kind of something that I do in my life that is separate. Like, it's almost like a hobby. It's an enjoyable hobby.
Tell me why you like doing it.
It brings some sort of comfort in ways. In other ways, it's a stress reliever, and in a lot of other ways, it's just something that I do. It's not something that you calculate. When you go and bowl, nobody says, well, why do you go and bowl? Because you like to do it. That's it.
So this is like a hobby for you?
Kind of like a hobby. Yeah, it's a strange hobby, I admit that, but...
Do you walk around in your diapers all the time?
No,
or do you go to work with your diapers on under your clothing?
No, I don't.
So when do you like to wear them the most?
In privacy, basically, with either a woman or alone.
Do you have a pacifier?
Yes, I do.
And do you drink from a baby bottle?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, do you eat pablum and baby food and stuff like that?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
And you like that?
It was disgusting at first, I must admit. It was pretty horrible. But I've acquired a taste to it, sort of like asparagus.
Spinach.
Yeah, whatever,
All right, Michael, what about you? What are some of the things you really like to do, and how do you like to dress up? What's your favorite thing?
Well, being with a woman is something I like to do the most.
Well, in your diaper?
That or not. Or sex with a woman. I mean, I don't do it with my diaper, basically. My diaper isn't a woman for me. It's a fetish thing. It's just
when you
a
are
thing
wearing...
that's exciting, it's it's sensations. It's about sensations. It's about, there are all sorts of sensations, bizarre sexual things you could get off on and enjoy.
Here's a question I have to ask that's kind of uncomfortable for me to ask, but I'm sure people are wondering about, because babies have no control and they soil... I know, you were thinking, God, she's not going to ask this question, is she? Well, let me ask it in a way that I can, as sensitively as I possibly can be. But
poo in your diapers, you mean?
Well, I wouldn't have said it that way, Michael, but...
What would you have said?
I would have said, do you enjoy soiling your diapers?
Messing or soiling,
yeah. Okay.
Dirtying. Yeah.
I wouldn't use dirtying.
I do.
All right, you're allowed to, because I don't want you to think I'm judging you in any way.
No, I didn't think so.
Okay, so do you do soil your diapers?
Yeah, and I like it. Yeah.
See, there are other things that I've been I'm a psychology student and I've studied other sexual fetishes, and I can name some other sexual fetishes that would horrify and make your mouth drop a lot more than this. And we have to remember that with infantilists, I think this is a sexual orientation. It seems like a hobby, and it is a choice in a way. But on the other hand, from a very young age, we are prone toward finding these things arousing or just comforting. And it's not as though you can just erase this off of your sexual template. It is simply there. So until that you've had these feelings yourself and you know what it's like to feel this way, I'd hesitate before I pass judgment. And also a lot of the laughter I hear out there seems to be nervous laughter.
That's very possible. I'm going to take a break, and I think we should talk a little bit more because we want to understand this when we come back in just a moment. We're talking today about, I'd say, something very unusual. Men and women who like to dress up like babies, wear diapers, have pacifiers, have toys like rattles, like to eat baby food. And we're trying to really understand what it is, why they do it. What do you think?
I'd like to know where they find diapers big enough to fit them.
Well, I think there are groups. There's groups and stuff, and there's a lot of especially in California, a shop that sells baby attire. And right now, it's gotten to be kind of trendy for people to wear pacifiers around their necks, carry bottles, sometimes wear little diaper pants sticking out.
Well, I've seen a catalog. Well, I've looked through this catalog that you're talking about, Denise, and you can get anything. Diapers, baby clothes, rattles, anything those are plastic pants that go over the diapers, and anything that you could possibly want, you can get out of these catalogs. And anybody who knows anyone who's ever had a neurological illness or has become very ill knows that there are diapers, and we've seen those ads for Depends, and there are diapers available for adults. So the diapers I don't think are that hard to find. The rest of the paraphernalia is available in these catalogs. There's videos, there's even books that you can read bedtime stories, because I think that's part of the fetish is that you like to be cuddled and held when you're dressed up like a baby, and read a bedtime story too as well. Am I right?
Well, how many people wouldn't like that anyway? How many people wouldn't like to be like cuddled and read a story and just nurtured, you know?
Well, I don't know. I can't answer for the people here. I can only ask you why you like to dress up like a baby and have someone. I mean, there's a point at which, I don't know, we're supposed to be grown up and not want to be babies. I think we all sometimes act a little bit like babies, truthfully, if we, in our hearts, we know we do. But, you know, why would you want to be dressed up, sit in somebody's lap, sucking on a pacifier, drinking from a baby bottle, and having someone read a story to you like you're a 6-month-old baby?
Well, think about the position you're in as a 6-month-old baby. I mean, think about, you have no problems, you have no worries. You also, I mean, you're given attention and love unconditionally. You don't have to play any games with people that you normally have to play. I mean, face it, in everybody's life, you have to, like, take care of this guy because this guy wants this done a certain way, and then you got to go and do something else with somebody else. You can just, you know, relax. You don't have to worry about all those other things.
Do women accept this in you?
Some have, most do not. Most do not.
Denise, you have a boyfriend. How does he feel about it?
Oh, he enjoys it. He thinks it's really cute, and it's not as though I like shift personalities and one day I'm a young woman, the next day I'm a baby, the next day this, or even second to second. It's just something incorporated into our relationship, and he feels very good about it. And
do you use it as part of your sexual play as well?
Not really. Another point I'd like to make is that I think in this society, being an adult involves playing a lot of games and pretending and hiding your feelings. I think it's very healthy for a person to hang on to an infantile, childlike side to them, because you're so very expressive and using your intuition.
Michael, you said that you didn't want to come out and tell anybody about it because you were afraid of ridicule. What made you come on the show to tell everybody?
Why? That's a good question. And it's a very serious question. And a very serious answer for that. People are really disgusted by dirty diapers, poop-filled diapers, stinky diapers, smelly pants, this kind of thing. And we're taught from when we're very young that this kind of thing is disgusting and foul and stinks and all this kind of stuff. And really our priorities are so mixed up in the world, because that's not what's disgusting. What's disgusting are so many other things, like violence, like so many things, like not believing in God. So many things, prejudice of any kind. All those things are really disgusting.
But her question was, why have you finally come out and talked about it? Is there...
That's why. Because I want to say that the priorities of people are so screwed up that it's a reflection on society, that people are so shocked by this kind of thing when they're not shocked by the fact that there are more gun dealers than gas stations in the United States.
Well, you know, it's really interesting that you say this, because one of we faced a lot of dilemmas in doing the show today. First of all, we thought about whether to do it at all. Secondly, we thought about how should you dress for this show right from the beginning. Should you come out wearing the kind of clothes that you wear when you behave like babies, or should we have you dressed as you are? We came to the decision, for better or for worse, that we would do this because we think that it's something that people might want to know about and might want to understand better.
Well, we are normal people outright, generally. I mean, okay, maybe this aspect is a little bit different from what normal people do, but you'd be surprised how many quote-unquote normal people do a lot of really strange things.
Well, there must be thousands of people involved in this, because I've seen catalogs after catalog. I mean, you can get baby cribs for adults. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a lot you can see.
But what I want to go on to say is that we decided not to have you in your diapers and bibs and stuff right off the top of the show, because I really wanted the audience to get to know you first. And if they're going to judge you and this fetish you have, to judge you as you look now, and not to be so shocked right off the top of the show that they couldn't even speak to you and say some of the things that they want to say.
Well, I'd like to say that my best friend for about 5 years or so was Robert F. Kennedy, Jr., and his brother, David Kennedy. And I know what the issues are and what suffering and what agony is and having your father killed. And I know what pain and real suffering is. And David Kennedy's dead now.
Did the Kennedys really, do the Kennedys know? Did you ever tell them?
They know. I told Robert F. Kennedy Jr. 20 years ago. He said, in strictest confidence, not to tell anyone about it. The next week later, David Kennedy shows up and says, "Oh, are you wearing your diapers? Or I heard about the nurses you got," and so on. Turned out Bobby had told all 75 Kennedy children. And I love him so much, and the Kennedy family, Robert Kennedy's children, and because I loved him so much, that I forgave him right away. That's forgiveness.
All right, you talked about, there are people who play, just to sort of add another layer to this topic today, there are people who are actually paid to play mommy to the babies, these adult babies, and we'll meet a woman in just a moment who plays mommy. She's paid to change their diapers, read them bedtime stories, and do things like that. And then we felt that this would be a good time to see how you actually look when you dress up like babies, now that we've seen you dressed in the normal kind of thing you wear. So when you come back, George and Denise and Michael, we'll see them all dressed like babies. Back in just a moment. We're talking today with men and women who are grown-ups, but who like to act like babies, to feel like babies, to wear diapers, have baby bottles, and it's a very unusual topic that we're doing today. And to make it even a little more unusual, I want you to meet a woman who plays mommy to some of these adults, who cuddles them, and she'll tell us exactly what she does do. She calls herself Auntie L. She's a professional mommy. And tell me what it is when do you ever use a professional mommy, George?
Oh, yeah, I have a couple of times.
Oh, here, Michael's just come out. Hi, Michael. Okay, he's just joining us.
Oh, God.
Michael.
Dude.
He's so cute.
What?
Why are you doing that, Michael?
Because
what?
How would you like to come out here in diapers?
Michael.
Why don't you do it on the next segment?
But Michael, this isn't about me. I'm not the one. I don't have this fetish. Don't attack me. I haven't done anything.
I'm not attacking. I'm saying it's rough.
You agreed you wanted to do this.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a little.
It's a little what?
It's hard to do, when
If you would have said no to us, we wouldn't have asked. I mean, it would have been.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm not sure you are. Okay. Please don't be unfair to me. I'm not the one here I'm not the one who's laughing, and I'm not the one who's going after you.
I know that's true.
Be nice, all right? All right, let's go back to you. I don't know what to call you. Auntie L will call you. Let me just ask you about when people come to you who are adult babies and like to behave like this. What are the kinds of things they want you to do for them?
When somebody who is an infantalist and what I refer to as a true fetishist comes to see me, I do like a full baby session with them. And that can start after they have initially spoke with me, maybe wrote to me through, we've had correspondence. When they get to see me finally, we'll talk first so I can give them a chance to become adjusted to my environment and with me so they can learn to trust me.
What's the first thing that you'll do with them?
Well, give baby a bath.
Yeah.
Fill up the bathtub with lots and lots of bubble bath, and I've got bath toys and rubber duckies and little dinosaur sponges, and put them in the bathtub and rub them up and have to wash their hair and everything for them.
Okay, after the bath, what do you do?
Well, we take baby out and we have to dry baby off, and then we bring baby into the bedroom or the change room, and usually I have a latex sheet on a bed, a latex rubber sheet, and we put baby on the rubber sheet, and we put a diaper under baby, and then we powder up baby with lots of baby oil and lotion and You can't let them get a hold of the baby powder, though, because they'll start a powder fight right away. You got baby powder everywhere. And you diaper them up, and we'll put baby in rubber panties and play suits and little bonnets and put them in the high chair and feed them.
And you feed them what? Juices and
bottles of juice. I keep bottles of juice on hand. I have a whole little baby cupboard.
Because you brought some of the paraphernalia with you. Whose baby carriage is that over there? Is that yours, George?
George.
Actually, I borrowed it for the show from a friend. I didn't tell him why, but...
It's a little small.
You can't fit into that.
It's a little
I
small,
don't think so. I haven't tried, and I'll probably fall on my face if I...
But you have your little goodies that you use,
Yes,
right?
yeah, I
okay,
do.
let me start with you, Auntie L. Show us some of the things that the people wear.
Okay, well, to start with, first we have an adult-sized hamper. It's a little large, but it fits.
Okay. George has ones, I know you can't see this, he's got ones like little things on it, little...
They're so cute. They're like little tiny blocks in blue and pink. They're just adorable.
And he's also got a bib on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be stylish when I come out on TV, you know.
George, let me ask you, would you like to stand up and show us? Sure, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Michael, his are really fitted, Michael. Yours are so baggy.
Yeah.
Okay, stand up and show us yours now, Michael.
They are. They're not really. But this company, with their name to fame was that they made them for FDR. That's President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. When he was...
Are you suggesting but he was ill, FDR.
Right,
in a wheelchair, and he...
This was their claim to fame, their company
I don't
that
want
made
you
these.
for a moment to...
This is like huge, right?
You know, I have to take exception to what you just did because you were trying to intimate that they used that diaper because he had a diaper fetish. I want people...
No.
Oh,
he was sick, and the company made them for the president.
Denise,
basically.
You're upset with Michael.
Well, I don't know if I'm upset exactly. I just think that with the three people here, I think that Michael, what he does is not very representative of really what I'm into, or I can speak for myself. Another thing, to add what he was saying about the government, there are senators in the U.S. government who are in the group that we're in the infantilist group.
Okay, I'm not saying. I just don't want it. I don't want to, claim that President Roosevelt was one of those, that he had this kind of fetish.
No,
I think it would be
not.
unfair to his memory.
Right.
Let me get back to you, Auntie L. Show us some of the bonnets and things people use.
This is a play suit that is made by a woman named Mummy Nancy, who is a friend of mine who does adult baby clothing. And this is an adult-sized baby romper.
It's
So
actually
baby
quite
can
cute.
Yeah. And to go with our romper when baby's out in the sun, we have our baby bonnet.
Okay, now you have like bikers who come in and wear these outfits, and lawyers and doctors and people from all
corporate
walks.
lawyers and judges and city council members and the odd member of D.C. Parliament.
No presidents, though.
We don't have presidents in Canada.
Oh.
All right. I'm going to take a break, and we will meet a psychologist who knows a lot about this subject. When she first heard about it, she said she was shocked and really felt quite repelled by it. And so now she says she understands, and she's going to explain about this behavior to us in just a moment. We're talking today to adults who like to act like babies and dress like babies. Go ahead.
What do your parents think about this? Do they support you?
No, they don't even know, and I wouldn't be the one to tell them either.
Yeah, what they know isn't going to hurt them. I mean, it's just something very personal that I think would be better if people, like parents, at this point, didn't know. I mean...
Well, when you were younger, George, I understand that your parents sort of had some idea something...
They did find out, and they sent me to a psychiatrist for about 6 months. And I agreed with them. I thought I was insane until I had seen a similar show in the States. And I realized that there were other people like myself out there. And that's one of the reasons why I came out here, because information is pretty important to people who don't know.
Michael, do your parents know?
Yeah. Well, my father's dead, but he did find out. And my parents, both of them found out, and my sister and brother. They all found out. And my younger brother, thought that I should put mud in my diapers, not poop.
I just wanted to ask you, how much do you charge for one of these baby sessions?
It's really variable. It depends on, for one, the length of the session, and it also depends a lot on the person. Basically, for a normal session, I would charge $200, but those sessions last up to 2-3 hours.
You read them stories, bedtime stories.
I read bedtime.
Do you spank them too if they're bad?
If baby's bad, baby gets a spanking.
Okay. George, do you like to be spanked?
Personally, that's not really my favorite activity, but I did try it once and I really didn't enjoy it, I'll be honest with you.
Denise, I have a feeling you don't.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, sometimes when I, do something, my boyfriend will playfully take me over his knee and give me a wallop, but it doesn't do anything for me except hurt my ass, you know.
Okay. Michael, I almost know the answer to the question before I ask.
All of it.
You
all
like
of
to
it
be
and,
spanked.
All of it and more.
Okay.
Whips, whippings, S&M. Yeah, it's great.
Well, I have to concur with you, Michael, because I'm 68 years of age, and if I had all the women that spanked me down through the years, this auditorium wouldn't hold them.
So, are you saying that this is the kind of fetish you like?
That is, I've been involved in that since the age of, I think the first spanking I got was from my school teacher when I was about 14, and the first one I ever paid at the age of 16, I've been paying ever since.
Yeah,
I'd say well over $100,000 down through the years. Stenographers, cashiers, waitresses, hat jack girls, no talk show hosts, but...
Well, I have to tell you, I'm not going to be the first. Okay. All right. Now.
Well, Madonna likes it too.
Yeah. Well, good for her. Madonna likes dogs too. I mean, what can I say?
Dogs?
So,
Okay.
Dr. Hogan, lots of confusion here, lots of nervous laughter. We don't understand any of this, a lot of us. What is going on here with these people?
Well, when I first met my first infantalist, I'd been in practice
What
for
are they called, infantalists?
Well, they're either infantalists or infantilists, however you want to pronounce it. Either way's right. I call them also adult babies. I was just shocked, just like you were. My reaction was exactly like the audience here. I couldn't believe it. I'd been in practice 15 years, and I'd never heard this behavior before. And so I went to the library and started researching it. Very little was written on it. And none of my colleagues seemed to know much about it, so I knew I was going to have to do my own research, which I've done now with about 118 people, and my research number is growing. I expect to have close to 400 or 500 people within a year in this research project. So I was amazed that not only were there so many people into this behavior that I didn't know about, but also they were very organized. Many of them belong to networks. And they have an organization called
How many people do you
Friends.
figure are actually involved in this throughout North America?
Yeah, we've estimated at least 250,000 are in this activity, and I thought, I've never heard of this before. But once I started surveying, more and more people started coming out of the closet, so to speak, and started sharing all sorts of details about this activity with me.
Okay, we're gonna take a break because you've got some very interesting research that you can share with us about not only why they do it, but the kinds of things that they do when they're doing it. Back in just a moment. We're talking today with men and women who are grown-ups but love to act like babies, wear diapers, have pacifiers. Just show me some of the toys you have, George, in your little bag.
All right.
There. You and Denise have real nice baby toys that you... Yeah. You like to play with that?
Yeah, in the right context, yes, I do.
Well, I'm almost afraid to ask. What context is that, George?
In the baby format, I don't go walking around the street, bouncing to this, here, catch.
You're such a sweet man. I mean, when you tell a woman that this is what you really enjoy, they must.
I don't say it that often. I'll be honest with you, because it has ended several relationships for me, and
there are common factors in the research you've done with people who exhibit this kind of behavior, who enjoy it. What are those common factors?
Well, actually, Shirley, a fetish is an accident that occurs with people. It's a learned behavior that starts when they are developing sexually. They begin to attach sexual feelings with non-sexual objects such as diapers, or leather, or feet, or hair, or there's hundreds of kinds of fetishes. And this is basically what this behavior is. Now, a lot of people want to blame parents, and they want to blame the environment, or they want to say it's genetic. I don't think it's really any of those things. It's kind of an accident. And all of us have little quirks like this that occur, that we have little fantasies that turn us on. And they actually were things that we started thinking about when we were probably before the age of 5. That's when the interest in this behavior started.
Honestly, most of us who think about wearing diapers or soiling our diapers, to many of us, that's a lack of dignity, that the last thing we ever want to do is end up wearing diapers and soiling them and having to have people clean us up. For many of us, you've heard people say, I'd rather die than have that happen. And here you have people who actually go out there and spend money to buy diapers, who pee in their pants and, in your words, Michael, poop in their pants, and all the stuff that babies do. I know Denise doesn't do that, and I don't think George does either, but certainly there are people who do. It's hard to understand how that kind of indignity can cause sexual, excitement.
Well, there's a lot of control mixed up with this, too. It's giving up control. It's being able to relax. Many of the people in my study have managerial and professional jobs, and these are ways of relaxing for them.
But you can do transcendental meditation, and
there's
other ways to relax.
Right. There's all kinds of ways.
TM, or BM.
Right. And Michael here, I think, has a little control problem. That's why he's late. He's controlling the. Well, I think you like to be in control, because a baby, is really in control. When a baby cries, or when a baby's late, or when a baby misbehaves, then
you mean about liking to be whipped and spanked and all that sort of thing?
No, Michael. You were like, if I had to describe you in a way, I'd call you a brat on the show. I would.
Does he like that?
Yeah.
Because you kept the audience waiting, not once, but a couple of times. People at home won't know that, but he has. You took forever to get. You love to control everything. I can see that about you.
Well, you know what brat means in Russian? Means brother.
Oh, well, we're speaking English, but is this more?
You just took control.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll give it back to you.
Taking control away from Shirley.
Control?
And so you're in. Well, of course you're taking control.
No, I want to say what I have to say.
I would never have a power struggle with Michael, believe me. But let me just ask you: is this normal behavior?
Oh. Well, you mean normal? No, this is not normal behavior.
Shirley, I think that we have to separate this. Michael is quite different, or I see it different than the other two, where he is just, I feel sorry for him, really, because...
Don't feel sorry for me.
I'm sorry, Michael, but you just want attention, and you're going out of your way to bring attention to yourself. And I feel that the other two...
Something wrong with that? Actually?
Well,
bringing attention to yourself.
Well, when you're holding everybody else up, or making... These two are quite uncomfortable with you sitting there in the way that you're reacting.
I'm not uncomfortable in any way.
Well, Denise has shown signs that she is.
Well, I'm relaxing, hey.
All right. You wanted to make a point, Auntie M.
Yes, about the humiliation. Now, there are people that do just like the caring, they like the caring and the nurturing and the actual being a baby, but then there are other people that like to be diapered and dominated. There are ones that just enjoy being diapered and humiliated. But about 50% of the people that see me are the ones that want to be nurtured and cared for, and So what if they have an accident in their diaper? Because for them it's very much like a giving up of control, and it's very much a release. I'll have
But some of them don't have accidents. They do it on purpose. Michael, I think you do it on purpose, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay.
They're
everything I do, I usually do on purpose.
Dr. Hogan, when we come back, what I want to know is, do men and women actually do this or see this differently? For men, is it a sexual turn-on, and is it for women as well? We'll be back with more in just a minute. Today with adults, we've got Denise and we've got George and Michael, who are dressed up like babies, even though they're grown-ups, and Auntie M, who is a professional mommy who looks at... Auntie who?
L.
Oh, I'm thinking of Wizard of Oz, Auntie M. Sorry. Okay, sorry.
Well, the line of argument I'm trying to follow here is that it just seems like it's as if it's okay because there are so many people out there. Well, there are other people out there that are doing this, therefore it's okay. I mean, we're supposed to understand there's all these people out there that are doing it, therefore my behavior is okay. I mean, to us it seems whacked. You know what I mean? To us it seems completely whacked. And, but there are other people out there that are doing it, therefore it's okay,
Well, aren't
George?
there other things that you do that a lot of people do and therefore they're considered normal? Isn't that the whole basis of society? What is the norm? What is average? What do people do?
And these normal things are often kind of whacked. I mean, the way people treat each other is whacked.
This is a way that they relax, is the way I understand it. About 80% of it has to do with their emotional needs, and 20% has to do with their sexual needs.
I disagree with that.
Well, and you may be an exception, and I expect you to disagree with that, Michael. But on my research, this is what I have found. And I think that this is something that should be taken into consideration. That they could
Can
be
you not get
drinking,
counseling for this to get over it, Dr. Hogan?
Pardon me?
Could you get... Well,
all right,
why do you want to get over something you like?
Okay, well, that's a fair question, Michael, because if it's causing...
Something that doesn't hurt other people.
I'm not saying it does.
Something that
No, I'm saying if George is finding it difficult to find a woman who'll understand this, and he's lonely because of it, and you can't find a woman to share your life with because of this, I'm saying that, and this is the kind of behavior that most of us see as bizarre and shocking, then I'm just asking the question.
Well, that's why we need shows like yours, to...
But the way I would answer that question, Shirley, is that there are a lot of infantilists who have tried many, many times to change this behavior. They've gone to 5 and 6 different therapists. They've been in 10-step programs. Yes, it's a big interference in their lives. They're very sad. They're very lonely. They're very alienated from society. So, yeah, this is something that a lot of them really don't want, this behavior. But many of them do.
If you could stop tomorrow, George, would you like to?
I have tried many times just for the ease of it all, but at this point I've come to an understanding whereas, it doesn't make any sense to stop because it's something that provides more emotional gratification than anything else, and it doesn't interfere with my life all that much. I mean, I carry on a normal life. I do go out with women. I just don't tell them anymore.
Well, I really hope you find someone who will understand and who will love you. And, I really, really do, honestly.
Thank you.
Hi, I just have a question for Michael. We understand that you're a professional artist.
Yeah, I've done work for William F. Buckley Jr. He's actually a friend of mine.
Well, the question is, I just wanted to know if you use your behavior, is it in any sort of way as an artistic, does it sort of spur you on as an inspiration?
My behavior, what do you mean, the diaper thing is an inspiration?
Does it inspire you at all artistically in your job?
Well, I'm doing a sculpture now for Hugh Hefner.
No, I have to tell you, I got to tell you, I've seen Michael's work. It's exceptional. It's really...
Thank you.
It really is. Matter of fact, there's some of his work right there. Yeah, it is. It's very exceptional, okay? I don't want anyone to ridicule your work, Michael, because you can see, there you go.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
You don't have the one of Buckley and I, huh?
Okay, I was just wondering, do any of you come from broken families, and if so, were you neglected as children?
Well, the question I think many of us want to know is, were you sexually abused as children?
I can say I wasn't, honestly.
Denise?
Yeah, I was.
Michael?
I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about...
Well, perhaps you'd be good enough to answer the question.
What was it?
It was, were you sexually abused as a child?
Sexually?
Yeah.
No way.
Physically?
Slapped once by my mother.
Okay.
I'll never forget it.
All right, Dr. Hogan, is there any connection between
Right.
abuse and this or what?
Actually, as I was saying earlier, this is an accident of nature. This is a learned behavior. It's not because these people were particularly mistreated by their parents. Now, what we have found in this study is that, in my study, 40% of the parents, 40% of them have parents who are alcoholics. That's kind of a significant number. 20% did say that they had problems with one or both of their parents.
Hey, hold on, just a second. Michael, can you not put your top on till the commercial break? Because your microphone will. If you want to put your hat on, though, you've got a little. All right.
And you're taking.
I don't know if we'll be able to hear you, Michael.
Oh, sorry.
Take it off because I don't know if I'll be able to hear you because you're covering your mic with your outfit. So just take it off.
It's okay.
It's right here.
Can we hear him still? Okay. All right.
Here you go.
Okay.
See that?
So, Dr. Hogan.
Oh, that the 20% of the studies showed that they felt like their mothers were distant, or no, their fathers were distant and domineering, and the mothers were very critical and overly strict. So it might be significant.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to your question after the break. But Michael, why don't you keep your hat on while we go to the break? You obviously want us all to really see. You put your, go ahead. I don't know how, did we get a shot of Michael with his hat up?
No. What's really disgusting is not poop, diapers and stuff. It's like the Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States.
Michael. You know what? We'll be back after this break. Quick question to you. Do you want to have children ever? George?
Yes. Yes,
So
absolutely.
what are you going to do when you have a child about this whole diaper thing?
When the time comes, I will either give it up or explain it or whatever my wife and I decide to do. That's something that's in the future, and I'm not worried about that right now.
Okay.
You can always hide your diapers in the closet.
That's true, too.
Yeah, and sexuality is a private thing for most couples. They don't parade their sexuality in front of their children, just like you don't spend 80% of your time, most of you, in sexual activities. These are people, for the most part, who just lead normal lives just like you do. And they're not really going to display their sexual behaviors in front of other people.
Hi, I just have a question for Michael. I don't have a problem with behavior. It doesn't hurt anybody. But I just want to know, do you have a girlfriend, or in the past did you have it? How did you deal with it? Like,
well, one of them, one girl, a friend of mine that I loved a lot, she used to make diapers for me, sew them. And she used to whip me, all this stuff, and I loved her, and she believed in tarot cards and psychics, and she hanged herself.
That's not funny.
She didn't believe.
That is not funny.
I know it's not funny. She didn't believe in God. Basically that.
Michael, you know, a lot of what you say is sometimes very hard to believe. I have
This
to
is
tell
true.
You. Well, okay.
It's very true.
I have a question for Dr. Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a fear of growing up, them wearing diapers?
Well, I think the people already that's a good question, but they already recognize that they're grown up, and they do very grown-up things most of the day. But they need this to relax. They feel a great deal more relaxed, and it seems to make them more creative and more productive by engaging in this behavior.
I'm just really confused about Auntie L. We're being told that she's a mother figure for you, but she doesn't really look like a mother figure.
A lot of the people that come to see me, the majority of my clientele, I have between 15 and 20 adult babies that come to see me. They're between 35 years old is the youngest. The oldest is in his late 60s. And part of their
do you dress like this when you're being
very
their mommy?
similar to this, yes. Very similar to this, because with them,
it's kind of sexy, like.
Well, part of their fantasy isn't to look at a middle-aged woman who's got rolls all over the place. They want a nice, fun, good-looking mommy that they can go, oh, mommy, I'm wet. I need to be changed. Because it's a very sensual experience for them. And it's very much a release for them, emotionally and psychologically.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question, because we're almost out of time. do men see this sexually and women see it sexually, or do they see it differently, wearing these diapers?
You asked me that question, Shirley, right before one of the breaks.
Yeah.
I think for women that it is a turn-on. Also, it's a more sensuous, erotic thing, but I don't think it has quite the impact that it does on a man.
Because do a lot of these men masturbate when they wear their diapers?
In my study, all of them do.
I don't.
So
George, you don't.
I do not. I totally separate the two.
And do the women masturbate when they wear their diapers?
Sometimes, but not as frequently.
So women use it for emotional
right,
comfort?
well, male and females differ sexually anyway in their behavior, so.
Hi. When I first came here, I have to admit, I was kind of rolling my eyes and cracking jokes. But, I mean, after listening, I can sort of accept it for the two on the left. But the two on the right. But as for Michael, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think you're basically a freak. And I think you're just using this. And, like, seriously, I mean, sorry. I think you're lacking a lot of tact. Like, to come on here and this is the way you're talking. I mean, what's the point? You're not making any sense. You're rambling on. You're throwing names at people. I mean, it's pointless.
Well, if you had a brain, you'd understand.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm not gonna acknowledge that. I'm just gonna say that maybe you should
Well, I'm
get
not
rid
a
of the
freak at
diapers
all.
and get a jacket with straps, because that's all I.
I think, Michael, what's bothering people is that Denise and George seem very sincere in their need to explain this to people so that they can help others to understand who are either in this position or really to open the door and, with a little bit of knowledge about this. Am I right, Denise and George, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
And that you kind of, and Michael, I don't want to make you the focus here, but I think what this young man was saying, to be fair to him, is that you're kind of making a joke out of the whole thing, whereas Denise and George are very serious about this as a part of their lives. Denise, can you comment on that?
Can I comment on what
No,
you
I'd like
said?
Denise to comment, Michael.
I am very sincere, and I would like people to try to understand. Sometimes when I try to look at it as objectively as possible, it doesn't make sense to me, but it is, and I'd like to, with the people, there will be people seeing this show. There will be other adult babies who will see this and will inspire them to reach an understanding within themselves.
Can I make a serious point about
If you can,
the stuff,
Michael,
the baby
I'd really
thing?
like you to.
Okay, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me?
You don't have to ask my forgiveness. I'm not up there with you. I think if there's anyone who feels uncomfortable or who you have said inappropriate things to, it's the people on the panel.
Well, maybe everybody can forgive me, possibly.
Okay, go ahead, make your comment then.
First of all, if you want to do the baby thing with somebody, with a woman, or with a guy, or whatever your sexual preference is, make sure the person really loves you or really cares about you first before you tell them. That's a point.
I think that's a very good point. I thank you for
For a transcript of today's program, call toll-free 1-800-263-2745. Shirley's Wardrobe today, designed by Ross Meyer.